Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Mish's Wishes Crafty Budget. I'm Mish and I'm here today because I am going to try to explain how I create my budget. So if that's something that interests you and maybe it can help you in creating a budget or maybe taking some steps in getting a budget created if you don't already have one. If that's something you want to hear, guess what? I'm here, you're here, we're here together. Let's get into this.
Shake it, shake it.
Okay, so first things first, we notice that one of my hands is polished and one is not. And that is because it is very hard for me to paint this hand. I don't know if people have that problem where their less dominant hand is hard to paint the nails on the other hand. And I also haven't done it yet. I've been working on my budget all day. So with that said, and we can just avoid the commentary of the nails, we can go ahead and move on. So today, like I stated earlier, I am going to show you how I create my budget. So I do have a budget binder that I created for myself. And we will be going over this along the way. Now I will have to give credit to Lyman Joy, of Laura of Lyman Joy, as well as Two Sister Bees. This is where I got the idea from this binder, was from Two Sister Bees. And then also some of the other characteristics of my budget have come from either Two Sister Bees or Lyman Joy's channel. Okay, so you gather your 3 months. And when you gather in that information, you want to gather information about your income. You want to gather 3 months total of your bills, and you want to gather 3 months total of your expenses. And when you're creating the amount for your budget, you always make sure to, when you're doing your amounts for your income, say you have 3 months of income here, you always choose the lowest amount to go with, because if you come up with it higher on other months, then you'll be ready and prepared and you'll have more money to put into those latter sinking funds. If these are not set amounts and you know that $1,200 is the lowest one that you get all the time, you always go low. And then once you do the $1,200, you take your income and you have to subtract your bills. So for the month of January, say your water bill was these three amounts, $60, $62, $59. And when you're choosing a bill amount, you always want to go high, so you always choose the highest one just in case. And then we also did the electric bill and the rent, which we know these do not fluctuate. They usually stay the same. So in this case, just as in this example, because sometimes it can, we'll go ahead and go with that amount. And so the budget for your bills would be water $60, electric $250, and rent $600, leaving you with $910. And so when you get that amount, you have to your income minus your bills, where you will have $290. And then you will go down here and you find your expenses. Now you will also be doing these for 3 months of those as well. So up here you have 150, 50, 100, gas 78, 80, 60, 76. And then for the kids, these are fixed amounts. So you have $7 each week for lunch. You got a $3 soccer fee. You got the $20 a week for, like, maybe his sister or brother are watching and babysitting. And then something miscellaneous like picture day or something pops up. So that gives you, for these three, that gives you amount of $10, $30, $40 for this. So that is where this amounts come from, because we're picking the higher of the average, the higher of the months, 150, 80, and then 40 for everything that happened in that month for the kids. So we always put that in here. So those would be your expenses. Once we subtract the income and you subtract your bills, you got 290. So down here you would subtract everything from the 290. So you're subtracting from the 290. So you put 290 and then you minus the 150 minus the 80 minus the 40, and that leaves you with $20 to go into your sinking funds. And like I said, sinking funds are things that you choose. So these are just some examples of what you would choose for your sinking funds. So you would choose something like, it could be anything that you want, but some of the basic examples are vacation, car maintenance, holidays, and birthdays. So when we split up the $20, we split it up this way. So you split up 8 for your vacations, split up 8 for the car maintenance, 2 for the holidays, and 2 for birthdays. Now you got to remember, sinking funds are funds that gather. So these are not just, you're not just going to have $8 for vacation, of course, but once you do this for like maybe 10 times, you'll have 80, 20, and 20, and then it'll start to gain momentum. But that's what this is called, a zero-based budget. And that is how I do my bills. So if that's something you want to go back and take in, that would be great. But this is how I come up with the amounts that I will be using. So I would not go straight to my sinking funds. What I would do is, I would take the $20 and use them towards savings challenges. And once my savings challenges add up, that money I will move into my sinking funds and I will split it up accordingly. But that is how I do my budget. I'm just here to give people ideas. If you don't have an idea of how to set up a budget, that is how I set up my budget. I use a zero-based budget. So if you want to use this budget and you have questions, I am not in any way, shape, or form a financial advisor, but this is how I do my budget. So I was trying to maybe give some people some ideas of how to do a zero-based budget. So with that said, at the end of all my videos, I always like to say, I'll see you, seeing me when I see you. Holla.